People who get told they look younger than they are. What is your secret? Genetics. Don't give away my secret or everyone will use it. I'm early 40s and have been told I look at least 10 years younger than my age since I was in my 30s. I don't do a damn thing. No lotions. Only use sunscreen enough to avoid a bad burn. Zero skincare. I don't do any drugs besides caffeine either, so that plays in my favor. But it boils down to, maybe I'm born with it. Not doing drugs is the key, honestly. It ages you a lot. Also alcohol. Yep, me and my twin just turned 31. I don't smoke or drink and had a dermatologist and his nurse tell me I look to be early 20s, and they had to see my DL because they didn't believe me. Meanwhile, my twin looks to be early 40s to 50s because she's always drinking. I, 58, believe this. My sister, 50, is a functioning alcoholic, smokes, now vapes more, and occasionally uses recreational drugs, while I occasionally drink socially. In the last 20 years or so, people have regularly assumed she is my older sister. I've often been thought the youngest of the 5 siblings, even though I'm the oldest. My theory, a combination of genetics and the substances being harder on your body. One of my big secrets, besides genetics, I guess, right, is that I don't really use anything either. I wash my face with one particular soap, and then, only if my skin feels dry, I follow up with some light lotion. And it usually doesn't. Body care is a slightly different story. I'll play around with fun body washes and fancy lotions sometimes, but it's mostly for the fragrance and novelty. When I wear makeup, it's super minimal. I have literally never used foundation, and I refuse to wear anything that I can't get off with a little soap and water. And my usual makeup wears off by the end of the day, so I don't even bother to wash my face before bed most of the time. Lastly, I do wear sunscreen when I know I'll be out in the sun for prolonged periods because I burn pretty easy. My mom uses a parasol in strong sunlight. People look at her weird, but parasols were a thing in many societies. She's got the skin of a woman half her age. I'm a 35-year-old white dude, and I shamelessly rock a parasol. Couldn't give two fucks what people think. One time I was in London, and this young woman said to her BF, "Why does that guy have an umbrella in the middle of summer?" I overheard her and said, "To stay gorgeous, darling," with a big smile. They both started cracking up. Business idea. Parasols for guys who don't want to look dainty, but still want to avoid carcinoma. We'll make parasols in camo, hot rod flames, monster logo, the text of the Second Amendment, outlines of naked chicks, and AK-47s, or loaded up with sayings like, "The only thing I hate more than a snowflake is excessive UV exposure. Lol, I especially like the last one." One guy came up to me once and was like, "It's not raining, man." I told him it's raining UV rays and he should protect himself. He looked confused. That made me think of another. Naughty Calvin peeing on the letters UVA. Lol. I actually attribute people thinking I'm younger than I am to me basically being a vampire who never goes outside LMAO. Yep, you don't need anti-wrinkle cream if you're staying inside playing video games every summer. Edit. People taking this comment way too seriously. I do actually go outside, but I wear sunscreen. This. I've been a night owl my whole life. I looked younger before I quit drinking, but after sobering up years ago, it's almost like I started aging in reverse. I'm a redhead who avoids the sun and always wears sunscreen and a hat when I don't have a choice but to be in the sun. I have never smoked and don't drink. People routinely think I am about 5 to 10 years younger than I am. Several times now, I have been speaking to someone younger than me that thinks they are older. It's a weird phenomenon. I'm convinced it comes down to limiting sun exposure, not smoking, and not drinking. I get migraines from cigarette smoke and alcohol. So, I guess the blinding pain is good for something. Many of my co-workers who are from Southeast Asia, Vietnam, Cambodia, regularly wear sunglasses, sun hats, masks, and long sleeves when they go out, even when they drive, even in the summer, even when the forecast says it will be cloudy. People can say what they want, but these women are in their 50s and look no older than their late 20s. Even I've started covering my arms and legs in high UV weather and put sunscreen on my neck and hands. My heritage is from those countries, and let me tell you, it has very little to do with staying youthful and clear skin. It's straight up because they don't want to be dark, because in their minds, dark skin ugly. You see a generational difference. Middle-aged and older Vietnamese women A lot of them have porcelain milky skin despite being from a tropical country, with heavy direct sun UV radiation. While the younger millennials and Gen Z gals wouldn't mind rocking a sun-kissed tan, personally, I'm a guy, and I think tanned Southeast Asians look more attractive. You can still find ways to protect skin from wrinkles while getting a tan. So yes, it's mainly because of colorism, beauty preference, and yes, discrimination. 5 extra pounds on me keeps my face full and more youthful looking. This is actually true. A bit of fat on your face in later years definitely makes you look younger. I must look like a toddler by now. This one. I have a naturally round face shape, wide cheekbones plus short facial height, but have always been mistaken for being much younger than I am. Worst or best was attending my cousin's wedding. His bride's 16-year-old cousin was in the bridal party and was the lone teen among the 23 to 24-year-old bridesmaids. Their grandma came up to me because I looked about Maggie's age and asked what grade I was in. She thought we could hang out together. I was 27. I just can't with every 20-something and 30-something-year-old with genetic chubby chipmunk cheeks getting buccal fat removal. Let's see how it looks entering 40s. Genuinely curious and concerned. And this is why buccal fat removal will bite people in the ass. Sometimes directly, but definitely in the long run. The chubby face keeps you youthful looking, and lots of celebs and influencers who get that procedure done now look gaunt and so much older than they are. My grandma always said, 5 pounds on the waist keeps 5 years off the face. I should be aging in the negatives, but she ain't wrong. LOL. Short, chubby face, 50 SPF sunscreen, and I always wear polarized sunglasses when I'm outside during the day. When you are short, people do tend to think you're younger. Can confirm, LOL, I'm 29, 5 feet 0. People literally think I'm 18. Went to the zoo with my boyfriend, 6 feet 0, 26, and mom, 6 feet 0, 50s, I'm 5 feet 0, and 23F. Boyfriend told the ticket lady 3 adult tickets. She asked me how old I was. The children tickets are only for 2 to 12-year-olds. I'm curious as to what she thought the dynamic was, LOL. Sunglasses help a lot. Filters the sun from the skin around your eyes, plus helps minimize squinting. Not having kids helps. One friend of mine had a baby at the age of 42. I saw her again when the child was 6 months old and was in shock. My friend looked like she's 50 plus. Before she had the baby, she looked like mid-30s. Sleep deprivation is hardcore. My mom had twins 2 days after she turned 49. She's 69 now and looks great. I'm hoping that's what's in the cards for me, lol. ETA dad passed the year after the twins were born, so we were on our own. 4 siblings. If she looks great after all of that, I'm hopeful. When we were in our late 20s, a friend of mine had a baby, and immediately afterwards, she looked like she was in her mid to late 40s. It honestly scared me and made me think I didn't want to have kids for a minute. Then a few of my other friends had kids and looked great afterwards. I had a baby at 31 and now I'm 36, but I still look like I'm about 26. As more and more of my friends have had kids, I've realized that it really affects us all differently, but it's crazy how much it can age some people. ETA. I've always looked about 10 years long younger than I am. This wasn't something new that happened after pregnancy, LOL. Genetics mainly. Don't drink, don't smoke, no drugs. Water, eat a varied diet. Cut down on junk food, sunscreen. Hat and sunnies, as I am in Australia. I'd only add do low impact exercise often. Walking, hiking, climbing, swimming, anything that keeps you relatively fit but doesn't destroy joints or risk major injury. And as somebody said down below, sleep. Also, moisturize your face. Most women know about that, but a lot of men don't seem to, or think it's unmanly. I'm not talking about a complicated skincare routine, just rubbing in a thin layer of face moisturizer after the shower. Maybe some witch hazel first, if you tend to have oily skin or big pores. My main secret is that I have done an incredible amount of work to improve my mental health over the last 35 years, so people are stunned to learn that I am 60. Lots of meditation? Unfortunately, I lack the motivation to do meditation. I have tended to do group work because then there are other people who are disappointed if I don't show up, which gets me there. Started my recovery journey with a 12-step program called Adult Children of Alcoholics. That led me to getting involved in a peer counseling program. Along the way, I have done a bunch of professional counseling and even hypnotherapy, and taken part in a series of rites of passages, including a 5-day vision fast out in the desert. Oh, and been a part of a men's group for 25 years? I just wake up like this. It's a blessing now, being aged approximately 5 to 10 years younger than I am. But during my teens and 20s, just trying to enjoy a normal youth, it was a nightmare. Trying to be taken seriously in a professional setting in my 20s, when I looked like a teen, just young adult, was horrible. Now in my 30s with a full beard, I get taken seriously at work. I'm afraid to shave though. Might lose 10 years of experience based on my looks. When I was 21, I was accused of having a fake ID so many times. Had the cops called at a bar, and the cop knew my family. He confirmed my age and embarrassed the bouncer. Having a chubby cheeks? That's why stay away from buccal fat removal. He's drinking more water, always bring an umbrella for the sun, stay away from toxic relationship, and not having a family. I don't get that buccal get removal trend. I think chubby cheeks, especially as you get older, look healthy. Removing the fat makes you look like a malnourished zombie. Genetics and being short. I have a full 50-50 split between my mother and father in my face, and both of them were often clocked as younger than they are. And I'm short, also petite in fashion, with a soft gaming body, so my overall essence is that of youthfulness. For example, verified soft gamings are Clara Bow, Reese Witherspoon, and Judy Garland. All of them, when you look at them, don't have maturity in their 20s because their particular essence of body lines, shape, and facial structure lends to being a petite powerhouse. If you can afford it, 5 pounds added per decade, a little sun to encourage collagen production, demi-permanent hair dye, and an after-shower sun-kissed lotion for me, vitamin C, D, and lots of fluids. Blueberries at least a cup a day, frozen organic. When I used to have regular sex, I looked much more youthful. Exercise helps, but it does not give same glow as nice. Long enough, and ideally with a deep intellectual connection, sex does. Several factors have helped me maintain a youthful appearance. Drinking lots of water, minding your own business, you don't have to give your opinion on everything. Starting a skincare routine at a young age. I started skincare in 5th grade. Eating a balanced meal. Some may disagree, but having junk food once in a while will not hurt you. I don't keep any at home, but if I'm at a gathering and someone brings Doritos, I'll have some. I don't smoke, and I only drink wine when I'm out with friends. Genetics. Everyone over the age of 30 gets told that they do not look their age. I am a part of a couple skincare 30-plus subreddits, and it's this constant circle jerk of people who look their age but think they look so much younger because they lack the self-awareness to realize this fact. I use CeraVe, snail mucin, aquaphor, castor oil, tretinoin, and I bathe in a vat of sunscreen. And everyone is so surprised that I tell them my real age because they all think I'm 22. Bro, no one, and I mean no one, thinks you're 22. There are very, very few people who actually look 10 to 20 years younger than they actually are. And you're probably not even close to being one of them. And that's a good thing. I am 36, and if I am around a bunch of 22-year-olds for any reason, I am very acutely aware of the fact that I am a lot older than these people. I'm about to turn 30, but most people think I'm about 22/23. I think it's mostly genetics. But I also had incredibly greasy skin when I was younger, and my facialist once said that I would be happy when I'm older because I'd have less wrinkles. So maybe moisturizer and facial oils are the key, but also 30 is not really that old. I think once I'm 35 and start to see the signs of aging, being told I look 23 might mean a bit more. But in reality, in your 20s, I don't think aging has really kicked in yet. I am 38. Got carded when I traveled to the USA recently. Haha. People usually guess my age around 28 to 30. I never smoked and apparently have good genes. On my mom's side, most of the females still look very young. I still don't have any wrinkles in my face yet. I do have to dye my hair though. It started to turn gray when I was 26. Funnily enough, only yesterday a guy showed up at my door for some charity thing and wondered if I was old enough to do it if I wanted to. 18. I'm in my 30s LOL, but nobody believes me when I tell them my actual age. But I don't do anything special whatsoever. I smoke. I have little to no interest in skin products or whatever. It's just genetic, I think. It runs in my family. We all look young. Not ever tanning, either artificially or in tanning beds. All the girls who did in high school look like leather boots now. Preventative Botox, reasonably priced, will keep certain muscles from moving, therefore creating wrinkles for a longer period of time. And obviously this isn't a choice for everyone, but not having kids. A full head of hair. I also drink a lot of booze. And while I assume some guess I'm younger than I am, despite not because of it. I like to joke that I'm preserved in alcohol. To be honest with you, I've got no fucking idea. I eat trash, I drink heavily, I haven't had the desire to exercise in nearly 4 years, and I'm stressed to fuckery. Honestly, I think I only look young and get ID'd cause of trauma. I think I ended up era-locked both mentally and physically from all the shit I had to go through. I feel like I'm era-locked in my early 20s, but my mother thinks I'm era-locked at 18. She herself hasn't changed over the last 20-ish years. She doesn't look youthful, but she hasn't aged a day since I was a kid. Genetics, daily SPF, no alcohol or smoking, staying in more than the average person, hobbies, a happy marriage that makes me laugh daily, herbal tea and orange or kiwi a day, 8 hours of sleep each night and moisturizer. Not having kids and cutting toxic people out of my life helps a lot too, but I feel like those things are the reason I can easily get 8 hours of sleep. I just assume everyone's lying to me to make me feel better. I'm 35 years old, and I get told on a daily basis that I look like I'm 27. IDK. Why? I don't see it. I feel like I look 35, like I look good, but I don't feel like I don't look 35. I think they just don't know what 35 looks like. I'm 5 feet 1 inch. That's literally it. I don't do anything to keep my skin looking young, and I have a bunch of gray hair, including on my face, but people still think I'm a lot younger than I actually am. I have concluded that it's because I'm short. I'm 62 and still don't have any gray hair. Literally would be 45 and get carded in bars. A big part of it is the luck of the genetic draw. My mom is 92 and could pass for 75. So there's that. At the same time, another part of it is taking care of oneself. If you don't want to look old before your time, don't take up smoking, use sunscreen, watch what you eat, and get regular exercise. I don't mean to work out 2 hours a day or anything. Just respect your body. Don't wave the surrender flag when it comes to the clothes you wear. I mean, I don't wear the latest and greatest, and I certainly don't subscribe to clothing fads, but wearing something that looks current. Jeans 100%, and now that I'm in my late 40s, I don't look as young anymore. But consistently throughout my life, people have genuinely thought I was way younger, and my 76-year-old mom could easily pass for in her 50s. My sister also looks very young for her age. Almost 53, no smoking or drinking, no makeup, ever, plenty of sleep, not much of a water drinker, rooibos tea with honey and lemon, South African here, actually no stress marks on body as well, probs due to genetics, very sporty, basketball, or any rough sports with my boys. Have a relatively good body as well. Honestly, I think my energy tricks people more than my looks. When they find out I'm in my 40s and not my late 20s, Chassinger early 30s, they cock their heads and are like, unsurprised. Oh, genetic. For the record, I smoked for over 2 decades, just quit this year. I don't always wash my face from makeup at night. I don't follow a strict skincare regimen. No sunscreen. I don't work out. I'm naturally lean and have a younger face. Life sucks. I know. The genetic lottery and all. I'm 43F and been told I look late 20s or early 30s. Pretty sure my undiagnosed Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, which I inherited from my mom, along with her ADHD and my dad's autism. Plus, my autism makes me make less facial expressions in general. As this one time when I was 19, my grandma drilled it into my head that I have to always relax my face or I will get wrinkles. But it's mostly genetic, and I'm 99% sure I have Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. I bruise super easily, and it's getting so much worse the older I get. I have super thin upper lip and thin nose and small earlobes, so I match the criteria, including the thing where the thumb can bend to touch the forearm, etc. First of all, Mediterranean genetics. Secondly, an Accutane course at a young age. Thirdly, daily morning skincare involves 2 layers of sunscreen moisturizer, hands, neck, and face, and minimal makeup. Evening, every other day, involves an oil-based cleanser, a water-based cleanser, witch hazel for toner, then moisturizer. I'm 31 and get told I look 25 at most. I think it's because I don't have kids. Like, I know a lot of hot moms, but if I look at all the pretty it-y girls I went to high school with, they significantly got less attractive after having kids, from their skin, to their weight, to even how they dress. They dress outdated to me. I'm also 5 feet tall, which helps. I work out, I'm vegan, I don't smoke, and have a pretty decent skincare routine. Joke's on you all. It's not because you avoid sunlight and don't drink and smoke. It's also not because you hold fat around the cheeks. You're wasting your time. I'm a recovered alcoholic that used to drink and drug constantly. So it's not that. I smoke cigarettes like a chimney. So it's not that. I'm not fat. I've got visible abs. So not that. It's not a positive mindset and good mental health. I'm a basket case. People constantly remark on how dark my skin is because of how much time I spend in direct sunlight. So it's not that either. And yet, people also constantly remark on how young I look. I also work at a gas station, so I ID people all the time, and I'm regularly surprised by how people who are a decade younger than me look a decade older than me. What's the secret? Beats me. But it's definitely not any one of these particular things. None of them are clearly necessary. Honestly, it's probably just genetics. Telomere length or something. Thank you for watching. Write comments, put likes. Do not forget to watch other videos.